Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. First of all, my name is SHAIRAH HANIS and today I'll be your moderator. And here we have 4 panels, which is one Muhammad AQIL for our panel 1, Muhammad ZARUL ISKANDAR, our panel 2, Muhammad EHZAN as our panel 3, and lastly, panel 4 is Muhammad Mahfiz bin Sabardan. Okay, so yeah, how are you today, guys?
I'm fine,
Yes.
thank you.
We fine, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, without wasting our time, should we start now?
Yes, please, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, please continue.
Okay. As we all know and what we have learned, occupational safety and health, also commonly referred to occupational health and safety. Occupational health or occupational safety is a multidisciplinary field concerned with the safety, health, and welfare of people at work. The Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 or Act 514 provides the legislative framework for the safety, health, and welfare among all Malaysian workforces. The principle is to prevent and protect the workers against hazard and its risks in connection with their activities at work. Okay, there are 2 acts bonding all organizations in Malaysia in order to ensure the workers are being protected from all risks coming from the workplace hazard. For example, Factory and Machinery 1967, FMA 1967, and also, as I mentioned before, about Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, OSHA 1994. Okay, my first question to panel 1. What is role of OSH legal requirement, business management for specific industry which based on Factory and Machinery 1967 and OSHA 1994? Can you tell us about your opinion or understanding based on this requirement?
Okay, thank you to Shahira for the question. Okay, in my opinion, for this question, my point of view is occupational safety and health, or basically a standard which are in a regulation with the aim eliminate and reduce a hazard in the workplace. The focus of us to have a health and productive for good of the people and the nation that's concerned on the preserving and protecting human and facility resource in the workplace. In general, there are few basic for OSH, particularly in business management, which are include all the components of us that are relevant to the member of the organization and the business process. The main OSH management system objectives are to define by the organization that may include ethical, legal, and organization goal. Not all management system has similar objective. It is a holistic approach, specific and requiring implementation of series of elements and positive continuity. The function of the OSH management system is through evaluated by the regular basis through audit. For example, in 1977, the Factory and Machinery Act was approved by the Parliament of Malaysia. Meanwhile, in 1970, the Factory and Machinery Act are a regulation under the Act will enforce. Next is the Act was legislated to overcome the weakness in the machinery or ordinance. The Act was legislated to overcome the weakness in the machinery ordinance 1953. Okay, next for the OSHA, in OSHA 1994, this legislation was made consideration the fact that the Factory and Machinery Act 1967 only cover occupational safety and health in the manufacturing, mining, quarrying, and the construction industry. Whereas the others industry are not covered. The purpose of the Occupational Safety and Health 1994 is to promote and announce occupational safety and health awareness among workers and to create organization along with the effective safety and health measures. That's all my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. AQIL. I think that's a good point to point out.
Welcome.
And for our panel too, what is your opinion? Do you agree with Mr. AQIL or have some information or opinion, or what kind of suggestion you want to share with us about the role of OSH based on FMA 1987 and also OSHA 1994?
Okay, thank you to Ms. SHAIRAH. Okay, I agree with Mr. AQIL's opinion, but in my opinion, I see that one of the roles of OSHA in the business management is to ensure safety of employee and employees are always as a fiddle. So, for example, an employee who's come to work with a healthy physical body and sufficient character, meaning that the worker comes to work with their both hands, legs, and eyes, and return with the existing condition not written, with a broken arm, return with a good eye, and any else. So, the business management that I took from my example before that I said in its business management, like vehicle factory, for example Honda, Proton in Malaysia. So whether workers are more, the place that workers are more exposed to better challenge while working, for example worker are exposed to harmful fuels, hard work areas that are not ventilated properly. In addition, when a worker is about to move a component from one part to a place to another place, and based on my practical experience, some worker will be exposed to noise pollution every day at the working. So what is the role of OSHA in this example? Like I said, so this is where OSHA comes into this problem, and they make a risk assessment of this problem that I said before. So the pig will give earbud safety Google to them, so their safety are ensured when working there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's for my opinion.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Zarul. I think I understand what to say. Okay, that's a good point also. Yes. So, okay. Well, I think that's important with your views and share knowledge related to OSH everyone here, right?
Hey, your mic.
Oh, sebentar. Okay. Thank you to Mr. Zarul. I think I understand what you want to say. As like Mr. AQIL said before. So okay. Well, I think the third and fourth panel can wait to give their views and share knowledge related to OSH with everyone here, right? So okay. Without wasting time, the next question for the third panel. First, which is for Mr. SYAQIR. It is a very simple question. What is OSH Act in Malaysia and its salient features?
Okay, first, okay, the question is what is OSH Act in Malaysia and its salient features? So, in my study before, I think the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, which is OSHA Act 1994, provides the legislative framework to promote, stimulate and encourage high standards of safety and health at work. Okay, the Act contains 67 sections and divided into 15 parts and append with 3 schedules. So the Act 540 contains a clear statement that the responsibility for occupational safety and health at workplace are shared between the employers and the workers, since the employers are the one who provide the working environment which give rise to hazards and work, and the workers are the ones who have to work with these hazards. The self-regulatory approach requires the employer to establish effective safety organization and performance through self-regulation schemes designed to suit the industry or the organization. Therefore, there must be consultation between the employers, workers and the government to discuss any issue on safety and health at work. It requires cooperation between the employers and workers to safeguard and improve the quality of safety and health workplace. OSHA 1994 too, the general duties of employees, the self-employed, designers, manufacturers and the other workers. So the salient features of the Act include the establishment on the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health, which is NCOSH or NCOSH. The duty to formulate safety and health policy, the appointment of safety and health officer in certain classes of industries, the establishment of safety and health committee at the place of work, and the use of approved industry codes of practice as evidence of compliance to safety and health provision. So the objective I can share about the two objectives, which is the first one is secure the safety, health and welfare of persons at work against risk to safety or health arising out of the activities of person at work. And the second one, protect the person, which is employee or employers at a place of work other than person at work against risk to safety or health arising out of the activities of person at work. So I think that's all I can share about the OSH Act and its salient features. Thank you to Miss SHAIRAH.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to Mr. SYAQIR. It is very long point and it's very good for us to have a knowledge from you. So, what do you think, Mr. Mahfiz, our panel for? What you expect, and what can you relate with Mr. SYAQIR? Can you give some sharing knowledge or anything?
What Mr. SYAQIR says is very reasonable. So, for my understanding, the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 or Act 514 in Malaysia are to provide the legislative framework for the safety, like Mr. SYAQIR says. It is to make the safety, health and welfare among all Malaysian workforce. The principle is to prevent and protect the workers against hazards and it is risk in connection with their activities at work. If you don't know the philosophy in this OSHA Act in Malaysia, it is the responsibilities to ensure safety and health at the workplace life with those who create the risk, those who work with the risk. So, some of the objectives in OSHA Act in Malaysia are to promote an occupational environment for persons at work which is adapted to their physiological needs, and it is to provide the means whereby the associated occupation safety and health legislation may be progressively replaced by a system of regulation and approved industry codes of practice operation in combination with the provisions of this act designed to maintain or improve the standard of safety and health. Okay, for example, the general duty of employees and self-employed persons, part 4, section 1519. It says it not discriminate against workers who exercise their rights under the Act post OSHA citations and abatement verification notice and provide and pay for PPE, which means personal protective equipment. So for duty of every employee at work, they are to take reasonable care for safety and health of himself and of other persons who may be affected to work. Next, to cooperate with his employer or any other person in the discharge of any duty or requirement imposed on the employer or that other person by this act or any other regulation. Okay, that's all what I want to say here.
Okay, thank you for our panel for Mr. Mahfiz. Okay, no doubt about it. Every point came out from panel 4 is magnificent. So we are almost out of time. Just a few things to wrap up. Throughout the discussion from our panel, there are a couple of things that can really be highlighted, such as eliminate and reduce a hazard to workplace is a crucial aspect to have our eyes on to it. Next, a good ventilation for an indoor space is very important. Moreover, if they are handling harmful fuels. Hence, on the big field, we can all now agree that OSH and OSHA is such a beautiful act that are important for our nation and need to be taken in account crucially by the company and management. It should also be critical aspects to be improvised time by time with the aid of government having their hands into making it work smoothly, precisely in our beloved country, Malaysia. With that, we can call it a day, and thank you to all the panel. Have a great day, peeps. Thank you for today.
Welcome. Thank you too.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.